everybody. Welcome back to episode 9 of the Folding Towels podcast. Hello, David. How are you?
Hi, Jackie. I'm doing well. We are your hosts today.
Awesome. I'm so excited to be here. In episode 6, we actually talked about a bit of a sensitive and sometimes controversial topic around dealing with sexual requests. We actually had quite a bit of feedback from that episode, David. It was great. It was all good feedback, which is wonderful. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for sending in those messages of support and um, camaraderie as well. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, this was a good episode."
Yeah, I think it's really important to know that look, there's some difficult things happen within our field, and it's important to know that you're not alone.
Yes, absolutely. So today we are talking about growing your skills through continuing education. But before we get into that wonderful topic, what have you been watching lately, David?
Yeah, I found this really cool show on Netflix called How to Get Rich.
Oh,
I avoided the show for several weeks because it's a money thing, and I feel very uncomfortable with money, which is one of the reasons why the show has been made by this financial advisor. And I watched the first episode with hesitation, and one of the things that he was talking about is defining what rich means to you and really, in his definition, he chucked a couple of extra letters onto rich. He put an E and an N at the start of it to make it enrich. And he said,
ooh,
what enriches you? And so he
wow.
started to talk about what wealth and prosperity looks like for different people. And it's like for some, yes, it is having lots of money and having property and building their empire and all those types of things. For some, they just want to be able to travel for 3 months of the year and experience the world, and so they set up a lifestyle to be able to facilitate that. For some people, it's working 3 days a week and being able to pick up the kids from school and have flexibility and quality of life. I'm like, yes, finally, something which doesn't just bang on about making lots of money, usually at the expense of other people.
Wow, that is incredible.
It's deep.
My eyebrows raised quite a lot. That is really cool.
It is very cool. So look it up on Netflix, How to Be Rich. What's been happening with you this week, Jackie?
Lots of work related things, but I did some self-care this morning. I actually did a thing that people are going to go, oh, when I say it. I went to the dentist this morning. Which I haven't been to the dentist in, I'm actually not quite sure how long. It is about 8 to 10 years since I've been to the dentist. And surprisingly, he said that he was quite happy with how my teeth were looking, considering that I haven't been in that long. And I'm sure they see that all the time. So I didn't feel too bad. My dentist was very lovely. Um, yeah, and then I was very good girl. I went and got a massage, so that was good. Yeah.
Excellent. We had a little bit of chat about your massage experience earlier on, and I think we've got a podcast topic coming out of that as well. So stay tuned.
Woo! I'm excited.
It's a good topic, not a bad one. All right. So for this episode, you're going to want to grab yourself some pen and paper because we've got a whole bunch of tips and suggestions for you. We, as Jackie, you've already said we're going to talk about continuing education. And we see this pop up in Facebook a lot. It's like, I need points quick. What can I do?
Oh yeah,
So today
that
is the
happens
day
a
for
lot.
you.
I'm super excited about talking about this, and I'm not quite sure why, but I think it's because I am on top of my continuing education these days. Was in the beginning I wasn't, so I really feel this is coming from the heart today, from myself personally. So the most important tip in my personal opinion about doing continuing education is to get yourself a notebook of some description. So it can be an actual notebook that you can hold in your hand and you can write things in, or to, if you prefer to record things digitally, find, get yourself a Google document, a Word document, whether you use Evernote. There's so many different note taking apps around, and just get started on your list. And I personally am encouraging you to go to Officeworks because I love Officeworks, but an actual little notebook that you can just write things in, start your list. And then, okay, the thing you want to do is you want to pop down all of those details. So the date that you've done the event or the webinar, the name of it. So what was it? If you did a webinar, if you did an in-person event, if you read a book, whatever it was, and all of the points that you have received from your association. Some associations go on a point system, some don't, but you want to manage that list. And the best thing to do is to have a separate way to record that.
Now, there are at least 7, maybe more, professional associations in Australia
Hmm.
representing massage therapists. All of them approach CPE slightly differently, and the points that they assign to things they handle differently as well. So it's really important to get onto your professional association. They would usually have a CPE guide of how to record things. Um, I know that you're a member of Massage My Therapy Australia. They make it really easy to record CPE online. I've recently changed membership to another association. I have to keep a journal as a hard copy, and then I have to email that in. So just slightly differently. But yes, recording your things as you go, because when your number of points drop, your association membership may become invalid. And if you are registered with private health funds here in Australia, you get dropped off the list pretty quickly, and it is a real headache. But CPE, keeping your provider numbers is not the only reason why we should do CPE, is it?
No,
And there's many different forms of CPE.
there is. It is a good reason, but it's not the only reason.
There are so many different opportunities out there and different places to find things to do. And our associations, not everyone is a member of an association, but oh, there's tens of thousands of people who are. Our professional associations often do organize short courses in person and online. So it is a really great starting place is just simply to jump onto your association website and keep in touch with their emails, because they do send communication out fairly regularly. Hey, this is coming up and it's in your area, or this is coming up and it's online. And why wouldn't you take advantage of those things?
Absolutely. Facebook groups often have education events listed somewhere, or regular posts about upcoming things, and they might be the same as what your association has also posted about. Definitely, if you're on Facebook, check in with all of those places. So the massage groups that you're in, if your association has a group or has a Facebook page.
Yeah, and particular trainers will usually have their own page and will post to those pages when their courses are coming up. And it's a great way to say, particularly if you are in an area that's not a capital city, to say, hey, we've got 5 people who are interested. Can you come and see us,
Yes.
please?
Yes, that regional thing is a big issue for a lot of hands-on staff. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, regional people are really good to traveling things. City people are not. And and
Yes.
and just as a little heads up, some of the associations, if you are regional and you travel for your CPE, they'll often give you a few more points to say, hey, you've been good. We acknowledge that you've had to go away for this
Yes.
training.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
So we're going to list out some other types of CPE that you can do. So the big one that comes up very often for people is first aid.
Yeah.
Don't you love it?
Mm. Not only is
Everyone
it a
hates first
requirement
aid.
to be a member, it's also part of the job description for many of us.
Yes. Yes, yeah. You can do, I don't think for most associations it's not a requirement to do the refresher every 12 months, but you can do it. And again, you can get points for that. First aid is a big one. That is something that is taken very seriously by the associations. And it's a good idea to do, at least periodically
Mm.
as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, it used to be a real hassle to do first aid, but they'd make it used to be the old school was senior first aid. It was a 3-day course in the classroom, no excuses.
Hmm.
And things have been simplified a lot. They've decided that people who work in an office probably aren't going to have to deal with snake bites and those types of things. So they've trimmed the course back a lot, made it available online, which you can watch in your own time, an hour here, an hour there, and then go in for 2 hours to do the hands-on CPR and use of defibrillator training. It's a lot simpler
Yes.
and much more convenient.
Yes. I
Yeah.
want to point out at this point before I forget that you can actually be a member of more than one association as well. I know for a long time, people kind of picked one association relevant to their field, be it massage or a different field in healthcare, and they kind of stuck to that. But lately, the tide has sort of changed a little bit, and people are a little bit more keen to become a member of more than one association, which I personally think is a good idea because you can learn so much from various people. That there's representatives in different associations that will be telling you all sorts of information, hands-on skills, as well as get-togethers and what have you. You can learn so much.
Each association does have a slightly different focus, and there's probably two or maybe three associations in Australia which are specifically focused on massage and or myotherapy. But then there's some hybrid associations that recognize a whole bunch of other skills, like the Australian Natural Therapies Association and Australian Traditional Medicine Society,
Yeah.
where if you're a member of those, then you open up the door to exposure to a whole bunch of other skills and modalities. So, if you are looking at your CPE planner, or sometimes through the Facebook groups, you'll see a message coming up, often from the very established members to say, "Hey, I'm organising a wet lab," and sometimes the associations will organise a wet lab as well. Particularly if you are in a capital city, most of those capital cities would have a school of medicine or a school of physiotherapy or a medical research facility where they have a wet lab. If you don't know what a wet lab is, it is where you go and specifically observe, and sometimes you get to touch and explore, and in some rare cases, maybe even dissect actual human bodies.
Yes. This topic kind of freaks me out a little bit, and there's a good reason that I deal with the outside of the body, not the inside of the body. There is a bit of a gross factor to this, but yes, wet labs can be amazing. I know you've done wet labs before, and I have actually just booked myself in to go and do one next week. So I'm thrilled and terrified about that.
So, Massage and Myotherapy organised a whole bunch of wet labs in 2022 around Australia, and the one that was held here in Adelaide, where we are both sitting, was specifically a wet lab tour for lymphatics. So often it's just like, here's human bodies and these are their muscles and nerves or their skeletons. But to actually have it specific to lymphatics was a real um, privilege. And I've done a wet lab specifically around cranial anatomy before,
Oh, wow.
touching and identifying structures of the human face, the head and the brain.
Oh, I'm not sure if I could cope with that specific one, but the lymphatic one, I have a vague recollection of that being talked about, and I'm kind of bummed now that I didn't go because I'm very interested in that topic specifically.
It's a real privilege to get to go on a wet lab, but it is quite confronting.
Yes.
What else can we do to stay on top of our continuing education?
Oh my goodness, there is so much. You can read books, and this is not just any old book. This is books that are relevant for our industry. So books on stretching, anything anatomy based. There's instructional books as well. I've actually got a lymphatic drainage book by I think it's Dr. Chickley in the US that I'm perusing currently, and also instructional books and DVDs are also a good one. You can learn a lot from DVDs. They're probably not as common anymore because we stream so much now. Um, but yeah, there's definitely lots out there.
Yeah,
Um,
there are a lot of resources out there now, whether it be digital books or hard copy books. And that's how we used to learn before face-to-face classes anyway. It's like there would be someone pioneering something, they would write maybe a journal article about it, or they would produce books. And I remember someone saying once, unless you've got the red books on your shelf, you're not a real therapist.
oh yes.
Do you have the red books?
No, I do not. They're expensive.
They are very expensive.
I got told that in massage school as well. Yeah. I wanted to buy them, but yeah, no, no.
If you don't know what the red books are, they are the two books written by Simmons and Travail around trigger point therapy back in the 1970s. They are super detailed.
Yeah, my version of that was the book. Oh, is it here? Oh, it's here. It's on my desk right next to me, so I can tell you who wrote it. It's the Trigger Point Therapy Workbook, which is written by Davies and Davies, a father and daughter team.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he passed away a few years ago, maybe just before the third edition came out, I think, but. It is actually a wonderful book, and I have recommended that one to multiple therapists over the years. And it is about self-care through trigger point therapy. And it's not the red books, which are huge, and there's two volumes. It's just a it's a small book in comparison, but it is one of my favorites. If you're into trigger point therapy, it's a great one to have.
I have that book
Yeah.
sitting on my shelf, and it's sat on my shelf for years, and I have not opened it yet.
Oh, well, you get a pass on that because I know you've done the NAT course on trigger points. So, and that's quite in depth. But this one is aimed specifically at self-care. It is how can you treat yourself? How can you um, manage your own symptoms? Because that's what they did. They actually wrote that because they were treating themselves. So yeah, it's very interesting.
So there's a whole bunch of instructional DVDs that are available as well. I know DVDs are kind of old school now. Prior to, I guess, the affordability of international travel, if you're an international educator, you would launch a DVD. I know that the likes of Till Luca and Eric Dalton, and now I am forgetting the name of the guy who pioneered the term deep tissue massage. Came with books plus DVDs, and you could watch real time as they explained in depth how to do various techniques.
Yes, that used to be the way, wasn't it? You get an instructional book, you'd get some DVDs, and away you'd go.
You
Not
just
anymore.
grab a friend and learn together. Yeah.
Now we stream everything. Well, who are the people that that you love? That you were telling me earlier that you stream some stuff from YouTube, that you've got a few people that you follow.
Yeah,
Who is it, David?
I really love the work that Stuart Hinds is doing here in Australia.
Yes.
You don't have to be an Australian to follow Stuart Hinds. His teaching style is just super detailed. And if you ever get the chance to meet Stuart, he is a wonderful teacher and just a wonderful person. Really passionate about growing other therapists. And his knowledge is just exceptional. You can look up his group and join his little special inner circle. Lots and lots of knowledge in there that he just shares so willingly. I'm a big fan of Neil Asher through the NAT courses. Neil Asher is now, I guess, a bit of a brand. Um,
Yes.
and he has therapists from all over the world who teach the various knowledge that's in. It is a remarkable database of stuff where you can learn all sorts of courses, everything from general trigger point work and myofascial work through to this is how you work with runner's knee. This is how you work with a soccer player. This is how you can do there's work around oncology massage and pregnancy massage and
Yeah. Their
there
database is extensive.
it's enormous. There is just so much knowledge, and if you need CPE quickly and you have a limited budget, the courses are they're tremendous value.
Yeah, I was just going
Yeah.
to say they're not expensive. Like sometimes you can pay thousands to do a hands-on workshop, and admittedly, this is all online, but it's very reasonably priced. And we're not getting any kickbacks for promoting any of these people either, I might add. These are just people that we love. And I know that Stuart has also contributed, I don't know how many, but he's definitely contributed to some of those Neil Asher courses, the NAT courses. And a lot of people would know once you start talking about Neil Asher, they would go, "Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about."
Yeah, a couple of those others. There's some Americans, Till Luca, spelled Luchua. Looks like Luchao. Till Luca. His teaching style is just wonderful. Comes across as very nurturing. His background is in rolfing. He does a lot of myofascial work now. Eric Dalton is a physiotherapist in the US. He's a little bit more higher energy, but again, the detail in his courses is just remarkable. Walt Fritz is another person that I really love. Again, with a myofascial background and his technique and his approach to the human body, very nurturing, um, very sensitive, and I just love the verbiage that he uses as he works with people. There is so much continual consent going on.
Interesting.
And the other person I've been really loving in his approach is David Lobenstein, and he's got a few online courses. He's recently released a book in partnership with now I've forgotten the name of the person around pregnancy massage. But his course that you can download and watch is called Pour Don't Push. And again, it's this just beautiful course around how to generate pressure and just really sinking into the human body with permission.
That sounds very interesting.
Those are my hot tips. Who else should we be following?
Well, those are some great tips, honestly. In Australia specifically, most people would know Pregnancy Massage Australia, who, as the name suggests, deal exclusively with pregnancy massage. And they're quite well known throughout the massage world here. Um, but yeah, so you can do in-person training or online training. They have a lovely online course now. And I have actually done, well, we both, that's how we met, David,
It is
really.
how we met.
I think I did my pregnancy course a year or two before you. And then when you did yours, I was actually pregnant with
Yes.
my almost 8-year-old and decided to. Oh, Catherine asked, I need a volunteer, I need a body. And I went, oh, hell yes, sign me up for that. And that was how we met. So you were one of the practitioners learning, and I was the body on the table. And yeah, I'll put my hand up for massage any day of the week.
You went into labor a couple of days after that massage as well.
Did I?
Yeah, I was supposed to do two massages with someone who was pregnant, and I've written to Catherine and said, "Hi, Catherine, but the person who I was doing pregnancy massage with went into labor, so they're kind of not pregnant anymore." And she's like, "Was that Jackie? Why don't you do a postpartum massage?" I'm like, "That's a good idea."
Forgotten that. I didn't remember. My daughter was actually about a week early, so that makes sense. I didn't actually think that I was in labor until I was really in labor. So that makes sense. I was like, she's not coming yet. We've also got Oncology Massage Australia, which, again, as the name suggests, deal with oncology massage. And this is a very interesting and expanding field in Australia because I don't know what the statistics are on what the percentage might be on how many people in Australia are dealing with cancer treatments, but people are really wanting to look after themselves and take care of their bodies, nurture themselves while they're getting treatments for various things. And so oncology massage is really a growing field lately. Yeah.
They're really of that knowledge that if you have cancer, the people who touch you shouldn't be isolated to those who are wearing gloves and masks and carrying surgical instruments.
Yes, yes. And the ladies, I know a few therapists in Adelaide here who do oncology massage, and I've referred a few clients to them in particular, and they are absolutely wonderful people. They are
Mm.
very nurturing and look after their clients so well. It is wonderful. Yeah. Who else have we got, David?
So Bruce Sharkey from Biotensegrity Australia is an interesting person to learn from. Bruce is he's been around for a long time. His teaching style is remarkable. You can attend courses around the place. Um, he's got a number of short courses, and you can learn some of his work online. Christine Knox, who is originally from Scotland, very well educated in the UK, and is over here in Australia now and doing a lot of teaching around um, remedial hot stone massage. Hot stones knowledge was previously reserved for relaxation, but she has got some wonderful um, teaching methodology for remedial work using hot and cold stones for various ailments, um, as well as her pioneering work around scar tissue massage. And then another one of the educators where you can learn in person and online again is Paula Nutting, um, who does the work around Chapman's reflexes, which if you haven't looked at Chapman's reflexes, you really should do yourself a favor. Um, all of these teaching styles, they're not for everybody, um, but you just may find something which is useful to yourself that you really like, and just another tool that you can put in your toolkit for your clients.
There's such a wealth of information available from these people. It's really sometimes hard to pick one topic and go, I want to learn about that because even just having this short conversation, I'm like, oh my God, that sounds so interesting. Oh, I want to look up that fellow and look up that fellow. And there's a couple of names from the US that you mentioned earlier that I didn't know. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna be down a little rabbit hole later looking up those people on YouTube.
I was at the Massage Myotherapy Australia conference last year, and one of the educators there was Craig Quinlivan. He's a myotherapist. I think he's in regional New South Wales, and uh, he talked about a particular type of injury, and he said, "I've got at least 30 ways of treating this injury." And someone stuck up their hand and said, "But which one of those 30 should I use?" And he's responded, "The one that works." Like, but how do I know which one works? Well, you try something, and if it doesn't work, you try something else. And they're like, "Well, that's not very scientific, is it?"
All right, I want to go back to the associations for 1 minute because a lot of people would not realize that you can actually be more than just an association member. You can actually take on a role with the association board as something like chairperson or secretary, that sort of stuff, or as an ambassador. So you've got different roles like as a regional ambassador, which means you kind of liaise between us as members and the association, and you might set up events and that sort of thing. There's also state representatives, a key person of knowledge. That's a really interesting one, and ethics committees. There's so many different ways to be involved with an association, and it also does help to increase your knowledge because you're getting a bit of networking in, you are learning from other therapists. It's all massage therapists in the massage associations. There's just so much there that you can do. It's not just be a member.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. If you look at the Facebook groups, a lot of people whinge about their association and how little that their association does for them, which is actually not true. It's just how we feel because I don't think they do a good enough job in telling us exactly what is going on and the extent of what goes on in the background, particularly around advocacy. But if you want to find out and if you want to make a difference, actually stick your hand up and serve. And particularly things around like the ethics committee. One of the things that they will often deal with is massage therapists who have had a complaint made against them. And you can start to learn some of the stuff which is going on in the background.
Yes. I didn't realize that there was such a thing as an ethics committee until like a few years ago. Like I knew that there was um the word I want to use is like a tribunal because that's the word that I know, but that's probably not the right word, maybe.
I think they do that as well.
Yeah. But it is very interesting, and yeah, it's not really until you start taking a bit of a deeper dive into following the association that you're with and actually going to the AGMs, that sort of thing, that you start to think, oh, hang on, they actually are doing quite a lot. Yeah, very interesting.
They do a lot, and they certainly had their work cut out for them over the last few years as well.
There's something else that you can do as well because a lot of associations, and not just the massage associations, have their own journals. You can actually contribute to your journal as well as, you might want to do a book review. That's a thing with Massage and Myotherapy Australia. They have a book review in their journal every quarter. But you can also contribute to articles as well as an expert of sorts, depending on the topic. Yeah.
Absolutely, you can. If you like receiving your journal, they do need articles, and they come from its membership.
Yes. Yes. Member based.
Another way that you can grow your knowledge for your continuing education is to go directly to one of the manufacturers or suppliers. And that could be someone like Rock Tape, who offer short courses in using their product of Rock Tape and their other products, things like their rock blades. They've got their version of cupping as well. And so in selling their products, they like people to know how to use them properly. So you can undertake some short courses with them is by going to the manufacturer. It's not just some guy trying to sell you their product. They are actual qualified people who just happen to really like these things, teaching you real stuff. And another manufacturer would be Premax, who, if you do sports massage, you probably have a tub of Premax on your shelf. And they are quite active in promoting education as well.
They are. I'm pretty sure that every massage therapist has had a tub of Premax at one point or another. I know I have. I don't use it currently, but I have previously had some. Yeah. And it is really good stuff. So some people may not realize as well that you can actually do other university qualifications, other college qualifications. So at certificate level, diploma level, there's lots and lots of higher education that you can actually do. And you don't have to do a full diploma or degree. You can do a specific class. I know Endeavour in particular, you can just do one class. You don't have to do a whole diploma. And there's also university classes through, I'm going to get this wrong. I meant to look this up earlier. Is it Move or Moose? So they have some free classes. I know there's some around aged care. There's also some around um, how the health system works, that sort of stuff. And they are, I know some of them are free. So there are things that you can do that don't cost money.
I guess before we close up, I'll just put a little disclaimer here. If you are following courses online, and there is a lot of information online, just because if you watch YouTube doesn't make you an expert. There are a lot of soft tissue techniques that you can learn and start to use straight away in your clinic. But there's probably some that you want to attend a class in person before you start applying them in real life. And I think that one of the really obvious ones would be something like dry needling, where doing a hands-on workshop before applying the skills in a paid setting would probably be a very wise thing to do.
Yeah, and it is a really good idea to do some hands-on before letting yourself out there with clients.
If you hurt someone with a skill like that and you hadn't trained properly, your insurance would not cover you. You'd be looking at criminal and neglect charges.
Yes, please make sure you are well versed in the new skill before treating clients with it.
That said, if something that you are learning is just simply an extension of skills that you already have, or maybe it's a skill that you have and you just hadn't thought about applying it in a particular way, why not get straight into using it with confidence with your clients?
Absolutely. And this is where you can do a case study, or you can offer some of your regulars, a half price session, something like that. They love that sort of thing. And then that's going to build your confidence in your newfound abilities as well.
Tell your clients that you've got new skills because they will ask about it. And you just never
Yes.
know that they may actually go, "Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Can you do some of that with me, please?"
Yes. Yes. That is so true. That's happened to me this year.
Yeah, brilliant.
I didn't know you did that, Jackie. Yes. Whoops.
There is heaps that you can learn online and through reading books. I do encourage you to meet people in person, though. Um, sure, learn stuff online, but there is no substitute for meeting your colleagues, making new friends, and to feel the techniques for yourself under guidance.
Yeah, that is really important for us because we often work alone. Some of us feel very alone within our industry because we do see our clients one on one. We often don't get out of our little rooms very often. So, yeah, in-person classes are super important, particularly in learning a brand new skill that we've never learned before, as you said earlier. But overall, continuing education is absolutely essential for massage therapists. It's going to help us stay current. It's going to help us to provide quality care and also to advance our professional journey and increase our knowledge as therapists. And it supports commitment to ongoing improvement and ensures that we get to deliver the best possible outcomes for our clients, which is what we all want.
Absolutely, and I think importantly, it helps to keep us excited and fresh.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I love New Skill Day.
I just love meeting our colleagues, getting out there and actually talking to another human being.
I love that so many of them are quirky, just like me.
Yes. Thank you so much for today, David.
It's been a great episode again.
It was good. I loved it.
If you are someone who offers continuing education for other massage therapists, why don't you shoot us a message because we'd love to interview you.
Absolutely. Can't wait for next week's episode, David.
Excellent. We will see you next week, Jackie.
Bye.
Bye.